G'day, Webby here. Welcome to Webby Walks Carpool Chat again. I've got Judy Hamilton here, a very dear friend of ours, who is a local here at Mollymook. She and her partner Brian moved down here
3 years ago.
3 years ago.
3 years last September.
And Judy is a great follower of Webby Walks. Has encouraged me over the period, which is a wonderful thing. Hello, Miss Judy. How are you?
Hello, Mr. Webby. I'm really well, thank you. A beautiful day in Mollymook again.
Beautiful day, as always, here in Mollymook. Yeah. Now, Judy, I've known you for a long time, and Webby Walk's all about activity and lifestyle. And I've noticed you're always walking. You're always out and about.
Always walking, swimming, gardening.
What do you feel, or what do you enjoy about your activities when you head out?
Well, I love getting out into the open air for a start. I think that's as well as being physically good, I think it's also good for your soul. And you get out and you see things happening. When you drive along in a car, you don't see what's happening in your community, but when you get out and walk, you see things that are happening in your community. You see people, you talk to people, you meet people. That's part of the exercise program, I think, but the well-being, of course, goes without saying. Walking is fantastic, but I also love getting in the ocean. Yeah. And getting in the ocean is amazing.
Like that ocean there?
Like that ocean there. Now look at that. What's not
like about
that? No, they can't see that.
At the moment. It's fantastic. Funny you say that, because the other day I did a Webby Walks video about 5 or 6 benefits of walking, and one of those is about a sense of meditation for me, and you get to see what's around in the environment, and it boosts creativity, and it helps you problem solve and so forth. So that's great. That's a really good point. And I love the point you talk about understanding what's happening in your local area by walking.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And I think one of the things you just said was, it helps problem solve. I've always found my exercise as part of my problem solving in my life. Because it is a meditation. It's a form of meditation where you go over things and you think things through in your head, and you talk to yourself in your head all the time. Like when I used to lap in a pool when I lived in Sydney, people say, "Didn't you get bored?" And I say, "No, that's where I sort things out."
That's what I do when I'm swimming too.
That's right. You sort things out.
I think more when I'm swimming than any other time.
Me too. And I used to do it when I was a runner. When I first met you, I was a runner, and I love running, and I still miss it. I still miss it with a passion, and I watch people running and I think, I wish I could do that. But unfortunately, I got injured in a city to surf and never really came back, and so I had to tone back the running, and now I walk, and walking's just as good. It's just age-related running.
Yeah, exactly. Age-related running, that's fantastic, yes. And I'm the same. I've always been a runner, but you can't run for your whole life.
No, you can't.
You can't. I still do a little bit, but not too much. Now, Webby Walks is all about food and lifestyle. So your relationship with food, Judy?
Well, I'm now mostly vegetarian.
Yeah, I remember that. You went from being a meat lover to
mostly vegetarian, and mainly because I'm a staunch environmentalist.
Yep.
I really care about the environment, and I care about the future of the earth. And so my relationship with food is I became a vegetarian, and now I am exploring vegetarianism and vegetarian food. And I have researched it quite a lot, so that I still get the health benefits of, how much protein do I need, how much B12 do I need, all that sort of stuff. So I've changed my cooking to cater for my environmentalism, you could say.
You have to, and you're a wonderful cook.
I love cooking.
Your stuffed mushrooms that are died for.
Everyone says that. Everyone says that. Yeah, and I must agree, they're pretty good.
They are pretty good.
But I love slow food. I love food. See, when you think of food in the environment, we all should be looking at sourcing food locally grown food, so the carbon footprint of our food is less. We should be sourcing a lot less meat, so that the animal agriculture aspect of food and the greenhouse gas emissions is a lot less. And there's so many great recipes you can have without having to put meat in them.
Yeah, totally. I get that.
And I love preparing food for people, and I love preparing food for my family, and I've always been someone who sees preparing food and sitting around the dinner table as a social event.
Oh yeah, that's what I love about food. See, I say to people, for me, food is just a fuel.
Yeah, fuel.
And but what I do love is the social aspect of it,
Yeah.
you know, and spending a whole day preparing and food for me isn't my idea of fun.
Yeah.
Sitting down with my family and friends on my beautiful veranda overlooking my beautiful lake is so important.
It is so important, isn't it?
And I sit there with the simplest of foods. And,
That's right.
And we are, and even I'm eating far less meat than I used to.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are.
Very good point here, and the environmental side of it.
Yeah,
Very, very.
And that's something that I've come to do. Well, even when my kids were growing up, I always made the meal at the end of the day, as well as teaching them about nutrition. And I've always been a simple cooking with fresh ingredients.
Yes.
Slow food, cook from scratch. Like
Yeah.
I make my own hummus, things like that, because it's so easy. It's so easy to do.
Yeah,
I know a lot of people are time poor, and they feel that they haven't got the time for it. But you don't have to spend a lot of time to have good food.
I'm not really keen on the word time poor.
No,
I've decided.
because, yeah.
I think it's just prioritising.
I think it's
like
prioritising
everything
too.
in life. If you put enough, people go, "Oh, I've run out of time." No, you didn't. You just didn't prioritise it.
You
And
didn't make
food
that
and the
important.
right food, yeah. And food and the right food is
Yeah.
so important.
Yeah, it is so important. And I
Fantastic.
always used to get the kids, we'd have, no electronic devices, no television on. Dinner time was
Perfect.
when we sat around the dinner table
That was
and we
our
discussed
time
the
together,
day.
family time.
Family
Family time.
And it's
Perfect.
over food.
Yep,
Food is
turn the
really
TV
important.
off. Talk, look at each other,
Yeah.
react, respond,
Yep.
question,
Yep.
understand.
Yep.
Very, very
And
good.
it's good for bringing families together. Food,
is.
and it's around food.
Yeah.
And it's what you prepare, and then you can talk about that food as well, which is part of education.
Yeah.
Even though it's a social part and it's dinner time and everyone does it every night, it's still education as well.
Right.
So
great
food
point.
plays a really, really important part in families and life, and even just for yourself, for your own benefit and your beliefs and your passions. It's all related to fueling our bodies, as you say.
Yeah, exactly. So that's wonderful, fabulous points and attitude, and your relationship with food, which I just love. I love. Now, the final question I always ask someone, Judy, is what are you passionate about? Where's your real passion?
Well, at the moment, I'm really, and I have been for a very long time. But now I have, since I moved down here, I've got the time to put into actively becoming involved in this. I'm passionate about the environment, and the way our climate's changing, and what we're doing to the environment, and we're not looking at the thing that's most important in our life, which is the environment. Without, everyone goes on about jobs and growth and the economy. Without the environment, there is nothing. There is no jobs. There is no growth, because the environment is key to our food, as we talk about. The environment is key to breathing, and at the moment, I'm passionate down here about. I'm trying to convince our council down here to change their tree management plan, because down here in the Shoalhaven, unfortunately, there's a group of councillors that don't value the tree canopy. And when we talk about climate change and addressing the environmental problems that we're facing, the tree canopy is very, very important.
So important.
So important. The deforestation and even the urban canopy is so important in mitigating the heat effect of our environment, and meaning we have less reliance on air conditioners. If you've got trees in your backyard, you go out in your backyard, it's 10 degrees cooler than someone that doesn't have trees in their backyard.
And it gets that airflow through.
And it gets
Once
airflow.
there's trees and canopies,
That's
there's
exactly
an airflow.
right. There's an airflow, and it's oxygen.
And we've talked about it before, and we've seen it, and I've talked about Webby Walks videos about when they develop a new subdivision, and they just totally denude it, and it drives you crazy.
And
it drives me crazy.
You can't grow those trees back. Those trees are 50 to 100 years old.
Yeah.
You can't grow those back in 10 to 15 years.
No, you
So
can't.
all those people go inside their houses, they put their air conditioning on, and that's what they do.
Yeah.
They put their aircon on, instead of realising that if you kept a few of those trees or planted more trees. So I'm running a campaign, let's say, it's called Save the Trees from 45 Degrees, which is relationship with the 45 degrees warming that we'll get to if we don't preserve our canopy, but it's also a relation to 45-degree exemption rule, which is in our council's tree management
Yeah.
plan, which is a rule that allows self-assessment tree removal. So it means that our council has no knowledge of what species, where trees have been removed since 2004, and that sort of thing needs to change. So that's what I'm passionate about now. So that's what I think about, and I'm actively running a Facebook group campaign against that, trying to convince council that needs to change. And I have a lot of councillors on side. There are several councillors that are on side, but there's this block of Conservative councillors that won't budge, unfortunately, and so I'm going to just keep working at that,
everything.
because it's so important to our future, children's future, our
future of our
grandchildren's
children,
future.
our
You know,
grandkids.
we are borrowing the earth from our children. We didn't inherit the earth. We're
No.
borrowing it from our children, and we have an obligation to preserve it for them.
Yes.
We have an obligation, and
Yeah.
so I'm working towards that. That's my passion now.
And since your fight and your belief in it, Judy, I've become more aware of it too. I must admit,
Yeah,
it's
and
definitely
that's
had an
good.
effect on me, and I love it. Think about it. Well, that's wonderful. Thank you so much. I
Thank
love
you,
you.
Mr. Webby.
I thank you for joining us at Webby Walks Carpool
My pleasure.
Chats.
My pleasure.
And
Keep on walking.
Keep on, stay active,
Stay
stay
active.
tuned.
Yeah.
Boom, boom.
Boom, boom.
Okay then. Onwards and upwards, another day.
Yeah, onwards and upwards. Another day in paradise.
That's it.